Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. What are we talking about today? Well, I'm sure you all heard that Harry went to Kris Jenner's birthday party and Meghan went as well. Well, let me tell you, they had a big argument. Harry had to go to this event. He looked completely fed up, not happy. Not only that, but they were snubbed by Kris Jenner. And it looks like Harry is trying to go back to the United Kingdom and buy a house. Oh, yes. I told you. They are going down as a couple only because how do you expect it to happen with your wife being Meghan? I mean, really, for real. So this is a situation that I'm going to be talking about, the argument that they had, and also Harry's been looking for houses. He's not happy. And yeah, all you needed to do is see him going to this party with Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party to understand he is not happy. Life is pretty grim for him. And I think this is a very big turning point because he can't hide it anymore. He just can't. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So I'm sure you all heard about Harry going to Kris Jenner's birthday party over the weekend. And it looks like Harry is trying to still save face. He's still trying to show that he is in union with his wife. All is good in the world. He's at a crossroads and not really fully able to make a change. He looks unhappy. He seems to be going through the motions. And at this point, Meghan, she just doesn't care anymore. She does not care anymore. And this celebration was very hard to watch in terms of Harry going to this celebration, considering what was actually happening in the UK with Remembrance Day. Partying with the Kardashians instead of actually being in the UK for Remembrance Day. You really see how far Harry has fallen. And Meghan has essentially been the person that has put Harry there. And this is why Harry is trying to get back to the UK as we speak. And you may see him out and about. He can't hide his frustration. He is still trying to put up the facade of, happy life. But deep down, that is not the case. Because if you look at how he has been diminished to have to actually go to these Hollywood prima donna, superficial get-togethers with celebrities rather than doing the meaningful work that gives him substance, that gives him the gratitude of honor and military. Instead of being able to do that, he's reduced to the not so important things of celebrity life. That is not what he wants, but it's exactly what his wife wants. And this is why Harry's decline is so pronounced. It's like a glaring horn that is saying, I hate my life. Somebody please come save me. I do not like what I'm currently doing. I am miserable. I am not in the place of happiness in my life. Like he is yelling to the world underneath his facial expressions when you see him out and about with Meghan, trying to look like everything is good, because it's not. It's not. So this article by Liz Jones, I think, really puts it into perspective. And we have to look at this to understand what we have been hearing about Harry wanting to go back to the UK on a more permanent basis, because that's what it is. So we'll get to that. But let's just look at what Liz Jones is saying. She's saying that this was the time to put selfishness and petty squabbles aside. Instead, clown Harry partied with the tacky Kardashians, and Meghan's beaming smile reveals the truth. So this is the time of the year when we put aside all these little selfish things, all these petty things that have been talked about, and you remember your loved ones. You have gratitude of those who have actually lost their lives during war. Now, Americans, we do it on a different day, but this is the time that is meaningful for Harry. This is when it really becomes this time, this honor of duty. This is when it becomes meaningful for Harry. in the rest of the UK, the people, the Commonwealth, is completely different. But Meghan should understand that, right? So there were tears shed during the 2-minute silence on Sunday morning's scene for Remembrance Day. And it was very nice to see. We saw William in his uniform, the king in his frock coat, and Catherine and Camilla looking solemnly on. It was very somber. It was a great time for reflection and meaning and things that Harry has been doing year after year. But 5,000 miles away in Beverly Hills, Harry, that man of wackadoo syndrome, himself a veteran of the conflict in Afghanistan, had an entirely different function to attend. Yes, the superficial Hollywood event. A big bling-filled knees up to celebrate Kris Jenner, the Kardashian matriarch who was marking her 70th birthday. This is where Harry had to spend his time. Even George would have had the sense to know that this was not perhaps a good idea. Now, the location of Meghan and Harry's never mind the optics outing, a $165 million mansion owned by the Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos. Intriguingly, the theme was James Bond, of course, as was a loyal servant willing to sacrifice life and limb for the sake of king and country. Still, at least Harry wore a stylish poppy on his black velour tux, because nothing says respect like wearing a poppy while partying. This is his way of saying, I know what I should be doing, but I'm not doing it because my wife got me out here partying with these celebrities. Perhaps he thought the badge of remembrance would buy him a pass, but it's rather like putting a Band-Aid on someone who's stepped on a mine, insulting and ineffectual. Meghan, it must be noted, was not wearing one at all that we could see. She famously loves flowers, maybe just not this one. This comes days after Harry lectured the world that remembrance is not simply a minute's silence, but a call to collective responsibility, which his wife could not even show basic responsibility of reflection, or that she was thinking about those lost and wear a poppy, which she has done in years past. And her excuse for not wearing the poppy, it just wasn't easy to find one. There was an issue trying to find a poppy, but this is what they had a big argument about, because you look at what Harry has to now put up with, because Meghan doesn't care anymore. Meghan does not care. Harry, you have given her everything. You have lost the battle. Your spine is like a jellyfish. You don't have one, because you can't even make your wife wear a poppy to recognize the traditions of your country during this time of year. She said, forget you, the veterans, the traditions. I'm not wearing one. The woman who was very much into flowers and trying to make things look pretty could not be bothered to help Harry. This is what they had a big argument about. Harry looks like a fool before the whole world because he put out a speech talking about what was just said here, a call to collective responsibility, where his wife could not even do the basic thing of responsibility to wear a poppy. Very, very much a smack in Harry's face, if you want to call it like it is, because she didn't care. Now, titled The Bond, the Banter, the Bravery, What It Means to Be British, his 647-word essay released last week was supposed to be a rallying call for poppy wearers everywhere, but now it can be read as a shallow attempt to head off the criticism he knew might be coming his way for attending a Kardashian bash on Remembrance Eve. Harry has done so much for Britain's injured servicemen and women, not least through his Invictus Games. But they can't have been impressed to learn that the prince spent the night with the likes of Kim and other celebrities like Oprah and Adele, Snoop Dogg, and the rest of Hollywood's glitterati. Like that's where his priority was. Last night was altogether different. Yes, of course, the chance to rubberneck inside this mansion, but Harry grew up in places like this. He's not impressed. There's nothing that is going to make Harry say, oh, I'm glad I'm here now. I'm glad I'm doing this Hollywood thing. It is so down my lane. Like, this is way past his lane. This has nothing to do with anything that Harry would find substantial. Now, Meghan, she was given a glimpse of what real glamour is like during her brief time as a royal. It begs the question, who is actually advising Harry? Who is there to help him navigate this woman who is his wife, who is poorly advising him? He is losing the battle, and he knows it. What he should have done is that he should insisted that as an ex-soldier who has lost comrades in action, this was the one event that Harry should have allowed Meghan, or told Meghan, look, girl, you're going to go to this event alone. I'm not going with you to this event. This is not a good representation of me and what I should be doing, considering what is happening in my home country. Harry has really shown himself to be a clown by going to this event. As I write, she says, he and Meghan may yet do their remembrance duty in LA and show their respect to the fallen in a meaningful way. But Harry, she says, I was rooting for you, and now you've truly blown it. We shall remember this. And that's what he has done. He has lost the battle. He has lost everything. We just don't know about it officially. We can see it's over for you, Harry. Over. I mean, you just look at Harry when he showed up for the event. He looks fed up. He looks not happy. He looks like he is simply going through the motions because he knows he has to. He is not in a position to really have the life that he had always envisioned for himself. It's almost like he went from one unhappiness to something even more unhappy. And I can't imagine that things are much better where he's at now with Meghan, considering all the compromises and the lack of support he gets for the things that are meaningful to him. Because as we speak, it's all about what Meghan wants. It's nothing about what Harry wants. And until when do you become so fed up that you blow a gasket and you let off steam and cannot take it anymore? That is coming. Because here is what is being reported. Harry wants to come back to England, and he has been looking for homes. I have mentioned this before. Nothing has changed. But Harry doesn't know how to go about doing what he needs to do, considering he is in a position where he doesn't want to look like he actually lost. But how long can you put up with this facade until you don't care that it looks like you lost and you did lose, till you just say, look, I got to go get some sanity. I got to go get my life back. I have got to stop doing what I've been doing. I don't like it. I'm fed up and I can't take it anymore. As Meghan prods around and tries to be with the A-listers, they don't really care to be with her. Do you know that when Kris Jenner posted on her Instagram, there was not one photo of Meghan and Harry in her Instagram post? Yeah, she had all these celebrities, but not one of Harry and Meghan. That tells you may be invited to the party, but you're not really truly welcomed in the circle. You're here, but you're really not here. And the question becomes for Meghan, do you realize that you're really, truly not on the inside of the celebrity circle? You're still on the outside barriers of the edge of the celebrity circle. Do you realize that at this point? You know, Harry and Meghan are really at a crossroads. But they have to have these appearances to show that, you know, they're able to, or at least Meghan does, to show that she's still out there in the scene. She's got her Netflix show coming out December 3rd, her Christmas special. You know, Meghan is doing what she's trying to do because she is simply trying to do what she's going to continue doing once Harry has made the decision to make it final. But as we speak, Meghan and Harry are at a crossroads. Meghan doesn't care to even respect her husband's culture, or the veterans, or the people that have sacrificed their lives in her husband's country and for the army, the military in which her husband served. And I think at this point, Harry is really starting to see the true selfish ways of his wife, because they are now affecting him personally. He is at a crossroads in his life where he has to make a very difficult decision to get some of his life back. And until he makes that decision, he'll have arguments where his wife won't do things to respect him. He'll have to show up to these senseless, meaningless parties with superficial people and do things that he just doesn't feel like he's a part of. I mean, Harry knows he's not on the inside of these circles. He needs to convince his wife now that she's not either. This couple is going down in a way that I don't think they even understand how bad it truly is. And I think once they are no longer together is when they can start to rebuild. But as long as they're together, let's see what you got. Let's see you go down in glory, because you're still going down every day trying to fake a facade of happy union when the reality is you're not happy. We can see it by the things that you are doing when we do see you in public. Harry's fed up. Will he be fed up enough to make a change? We shall wait and see, my friends. Yep. See you in the next video. Cheerio.